to my channel Lecture Notes. So in the earlier video, I have explained half of the poem Ulysses, and in this video, I'll be explaining the rest of the poem Ulysses, which is written by Lord Alfred Tennyson. So first of all, we would like to do a recap that how Ulysses was a character in Odysseus that was written by Homer, and in that he fought in the battle of Troy, and for many years, more than 10 years, he was fighting, and he was unable to return his home, and finally now he has returned home. So Tennyson is portraying that how he is not happy, all the journey that he has traveled, all the problems, obstacles that he has faced. After reaching home, he is not happy because he's a real hero, he's a real adventurer, and he's only happy in exploring new world. And he is not that kind of a king who hoards and eats and sleeps. This is not his daily life, this is not his routine, and neither he wants to be the part of that routine. He wants to lead a dreamy life where he's traveling every day, exploring another world, conquering the other world. So that was the first part of imperialism. Now, in the rest of the poem, there is a second part of imperialism, that is administration. First part is conquering the places. Second part is administrating and having a control over those places. So now he's introducing his son Telemachus, who will be doing the second part of conquering, that he'll be establishing the control over the place that is Ithaca and all the places that Ulysses has conquered. So, starting from the lines, this is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the scepter and the isle. So, clearly, he's telling that I'm leaving whatever I have to my son. Scepter here refers to the road of authority, that he has complete authority. Isle here refers to the kingdom. So, clearly mentioning that he is leaving the place to explore the world, and he is leaving every authority in the hands of his son. Mine own refers to that he clearly shows how the blood relation and trust is connected, that according to the traditional hierarchy, the king's son becomes the king. So how blood relation is important, was important at that point of time, and how his own son, who's different from him, completely contrary. Ulysses and Telemachus are both contrary, because Telemachus is the one who's accepting the life of the kingdom, of accepting that he's going to be the king and sitting on the throne and taking care of the kingdom. While on the other hand, Ulysses have totally opposite dreams. He doesn't accept this kind of a life. This kind of a life is clearly a death sentence for him. While on the other hand, Telemachus is the one who is assuring, who's enough trustworthy that he'll be administrating his kingdom. Well loved of me, discerning to fulfill this labor, by slow prudence to make mild a rugged people, and through soft degree subdue them to the useful and the good. So in the next two lines, the way he refers to his kingdom, people, the rugged people. In the earlier first part, in the starting of the poem, he had said the salvage people, and now he's referring to them as the rugged people. So clearly, he doesn't respect the people of Ithaca. For him, they are like equal to be equally animals who need to be tamed. And for that, he says that my son requires this labor, that the work of ruling and managing the kingdom, which Ulysses feels trapped in, while Telemachus shows an interest in performing ordinary duties of life and can civilize the salvage subjects and direct their energies into useful stuff. So he says that a lot of labor is required to tame these men so that they can work according to the wishes of the king. And this is the work which uh, Telemachus can do very easily. While on the other hand, Ulysses is not born and neither have such patience and neither wants to do such kind of work throughout his life. So subdue them to the useful and the good, so he can take them or manipulate their minds in such a way that those men can be used in their good way. Most blameless is he is referred to Telemachus, centered in the sphere of common duties, descend not to fail, in office of tenderness and pay, meet adoration to my household gods. When I am gone, he works his work, I mine. So Ulysses cannot find any faults in Telemachus. He devotes his life to the responsibility of his role. He pays proper respect to his people and his parents, and after his father dies, he will continue offering appropriate sacrifice to the gods that Ulysses most honored. So here Ulysses as a father is accepting that his son is different from him, and in his way he's perfect for the kingdom, and in Ulysses' way he's perfect for a adventurer. So Telemachus, according to him, Telemachus is well suited for the role of ruler, just as Ulysses is well suited for a different role, that is the role of explorer and adventurer. So here in this, he shows that how Victorian imperialism works, conquered the world and civilized them according to the needs. So what here Ulysses is doing, he's conquering the world, and what his son is doing, administrating and controlling the places which his father has conquered. There lies the port. The vessel puffs her sail. Their gloom the dark boat sees, my mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me. So now there is a complete shift in the scenery. Here the ships are ready, his people are ready, and he's almost ready to sail to start the new journey. Though he mentions that my mariners, souls that have toiled, the wrought and thought with me. So he's taking the same mariners with him whose souls, whose body might have been uh, soiled because of the old age. So these lines tell how the ship as well as his people are well prepared to go on to another voyage. He's taking the same brave people who had earlier shared the same toils, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine, and opposed free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old. So free hearts and free foreheads is, according to him, he is taking the like-minded people who are ready to accept and face new things. In the starting of the poem, when he said aged wife, he was not ready to accept his aging, but gradually we see a transformation in the speech where he does accept the concept of aging and how death is near. So he is, in this paragraph particularly, he accepts and says that you and I are old, but he clearly accepts the fact that they are old, but he still says that we have free hearts and free foreheads, that we are ready to embark on a new journey, on a new adventure, and we have a clear spirited mind to embark this journey. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil, death comes closes all, but something are the end. So Ulysses acknowledged the old age, but still believes he can create a name and perform heroic tasks before he dies. So he accepts that death is the end result of everything that a person goes through, and he accepts that death shatters life, but he also acknowledges the fact that before the death he has a life. Until he breathes, he's going to explore, he's going to fulfill his dream. Some work of noble note might yet be done, not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. So Ulysses says that he must perform heroic and noble duties, which will bring them credit and will again show their worth, because they have already created a name by defying gods in the war of Troy, because he has already created a name by fighting in the war of Troy, and he has almost defeated gods. So he wants to pursue his established name, he wants to grow his established name. So clearly portraying that they still have courage left to create a name worldwide. So here, twinkle from the rocks established that the day is declining, which is similar to their youth, which has declined, and how their life is also declining. also shows how knowledge is like a sinking star, and not everything can be grasped in a single life. So twinkling, a twinkle from the rocks here is referred to that it is the evening time and he can see the twinkle, that he can see the stars. But the extended metaphor here is his aging, that he is not in the youth of his life, he is almost in the end of his life. And secondly, also the another meaning of extended metaphor is that no matter how much you pursue your knowledge, how much you try to grasp every information, there always some information left. A human doesn't have so much ears or so much tendency to grasp every knowledge, but still Ulysses tends to follow his dreams and wants to have every information, every knowledge before he dies. He wants to conquer every place or go for an adventure and touch every place before he dies. The long day wanes and slow moon climbs. The deep moons round with many voices. Come, my friends, there is not too late to seek a newer world. So he still believes that there is lot to achieve before he dies. Therefore, he is calling his fellow mariners that it is never too late to start something new. And we have the same spirit to go on a voyage, and we can achieve anything and everything. And old age doesn't mean that it is an end, death surely means that it is an end. Push off and setting well in orders might, the sounding furrows for my purpose hold, the sail beyond the sunset and the baths. So now he has started his journey. Ulysses says, shows his firm intention to reach western horizon where stars and sun sink into the water. So Ulysses here implies that he is determined to his voyage till his last breath and wants to fulfill his every dream before he dies. Of all the western stars until I die, it may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isle and see the great Achilles whom we know. So he acknowledged that the waves may sink their ship, but they may also find their way to the place where the souls of the blessed go after death. There they might even see the old companion, the accomplished warrior Achilles. Many of their heroic qualities have been diminished by old age, but they haven't been lost completely. So, in this passage, in the last four lines, he does tell the positive as well as negative of the voyage, which clearly shows that he has a glimpse of reality. He says that the positive thing may be that he might see uh, the beautiful things, that the sun and the stars setting in the sea. And the negative thing will be what, that they might die or they might sink and meet the good people, the good warriors, the brave warriors in heaven. So he is being realistic. He accepts that. He also accepts that they might die. This might be the last voyage. So he is being a realistic person who also has a positive as well as a negative thought while starting his voyage. Though much is taken, much abides, and though we are not now that strength which is old days. So now he is accepting that they have lost the strength and endurance, but they do have same high spirits and the same willpower. Moved earth and heaven, that which we are one equal temper of heroic hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. So he accepts that old age and misfortunes of life have no doubt weakened them physically, but they still possess a firm determination to go on quest of new knowledge. They will remain brave at heart no matter how much their body is shattered. So he's accepting that his mariners and he himself are physically weak, but he also shows that their spirits have not declined with the age. They have the same spirit and they have the same courage to explore the new world. So this was about the later part of the Ulysses, and thank you for watching this video. Do like and subscribe my channel.